Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host, Sam, and we are back again with another one. As we just witnessed Spain being crowned the champions of Euro 2024 in Germany today, in the hands of England, being the victims again in another tournament, ending up being the victims of the people who are actually serious to become champions. So what I'm gonna be here to do today, I'm gonna be here to analyze the game. I'm gonna here to tell you all I thought of the game and exactly how the whole entire thing came about in terms of what I expected and what we saw and what exactly needs to change from England and how can they be better, as well as looking at Spain and what does this victory actually mean for this team and exactly how far can they go, because they look like they still have so much, and I mean it, so much more to even offer in this tournament, because they look like a well-oiled machine and they are working so hard, proving not only to the people outside but also to the world that they have a young squad that can do it all if they have to. So I'm going to talk about what we saw today. Did we really expect England to win, really, when we are being honest? Did we really expect England to win? Of course, people can wish, can dream. We all were trying to wish and dream. But we all know that, and this is a saying that is always said, you can never, and listen to me very, very carefully, you can never lead a cup of lion. You can never lead a head of lions with a sheep. You can never allow being the leader of lions being a sheep, because a sheep cannot lead lions. Whether lions are so aggressive and can do anything, if there's a sheep that is ahead of them, it is a waste of time. But you can lead. A lion can lead a group of sheep to be aggressive and do what they have to do. What am I saying? Yeah, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but I'm just trying to tell you that when you look at England as a team, they've got a good players. They have so many players who are so well oiled and can do so much if they're actually given the opportunity to do so. If they're well coached and well oiled as a machine, they can achieve so much as a team. But the problem is Southgate. And this has been our thing from the beginning of the tournament. We have been talking about Southgate game after game. If you go look, listening to all my videos that I've said, not only me alone, but all other, even England pundits, they have been, not really pundits, they'll do whatever they Southgate ask for, whatever they're asked by the FA to do. I'm talking about the YouTube community, or maybe let me just say content creation community. They can see the problem. Some of the things, this is the thing that I need people to understand. If I complain about a person on live TV, if any pundit let's say Gary Neville complains about a person in the team, do you know what happens under Southgate? The next game, that person will be dropped. And they'll put what Gary Neville was saying. Somebody mentioned, it was Ian Wright during this tournament. He mentioned that maybe the best way to get out of this team maybe is to play Saka at left back. Ian Wright has never went to get a license to become a coach or a manager. He has never done that. But you have done that, Gareth Southgate. You are the guy that so many people should be at least giving their hope to and trusting that you can lead the team to the promising land. And what did we see in the next game? The guy that we talked about playing at that same position, even though people might say that it was in the last minute, but you can see that so many things that are said in the media of England, that's exactly what you will see happening on the pitch. And that is a problem. Whether you like it or not, whether you look at it wherever you do, that is a problem. Of course, we get it. Gareth Southgate has achieved so much. He's one of the most successful English manager. To be honest, since they won their last title, which was in 1966, I don't even know if I was even, people even thought I'll be alive. But then, even most of us here, I might even say all of us. I'm joking anyway. But what I'm talking about is this: they need to be direction over this England team. They need to be somebody who can actually put a playing style that works. Do you know that this style of play that we've been seeing in this final, this style of play had to be worked on, twigged on, and they tried to be fixed to the end of the game. It started in this tournament and it ended in this tournament, because I'm sure no any manager with that right mind will ever play that team again. I can't believe that this team literally finished a tournament without at least a proven left wing back. It means most of the right backs were actually preferring to go marking the midfield or try to play elsewhere, because the guy who they're supposed to be focusing on as a winger was not there. Anthony Gordon, the only wing I would think would actually perform so well, was not in the game. But we're going to try to talk about this thing because guess what? It's not only England that lost. We need to look at Spain. Look at what they've just achieved. We just watched a 16-year-old slash 17-year-old who doesn't even have 24 hours since turning 17-year-old just lift his first title. And he has been one of the most important players in this tournament. The way he has contributed, helped his team to get to the final and worked so hard. And the other one who just turned 22 years, I think 48 hours ago, just helped and scored a goal in the final that led. And I'm talking about that 16-year-old who's now 17, assisted in the final of Euro tournament 2024. And we have to look at that and see the difference between the mentality of these young players to the mentality of a bunch of guys who call themselves world class, who are overrated, who are given the world in their shoulders by all so many supporters of their clubs or something like that, and they cannot even perform to at least a level of what we're seeing. Because when we're watching today's game, and all of us, we can be in agreement with this. When we were watching today's game, we saw something which was very clear. Spain were dominating England. Spain were dominating England the whole entire game. They were dominating England. And only when, let me say, when Spain scored the goal, that's when that's when England tried to do anything. I'm going to try to show you something that is going to be interesting. Just look at all the pass rates which were completed, the successful and unsuccessful pass rates which were completed by Spain in this game. And maybe you get to understand exactly what I'm talking about when you look at that board. It's so confusing when you look at it because you don't even know exactly where to look. That's how controlling Spain was the whole entire game. Where they were doing, the red one symbolizes these unsuccessful passes, but all the other ones, all these green ones, were the successful passes which Spain were managing to do. Let me remove these unsuccessful passes. Look at the ones that they made going forward. Look at the ones that they made going forward in all this thing. It looks like it's all full of confusion here. But let me try to make it even more clear. Let's show you the key passes which helped this team to actually do something. Look at this. And look at the numbers of players who have been playing those key passes. Number 19, that's Yamal. Look at number 10, Dani Olmo. 18, Zubemendi. 8, Fabian Ruiz. All these guys, we have been watching them every single time. Nico Williams, Yamal, all these guys, they have been dominating this whole entire tournament. And it has been proven today. Even with the assists. The assist came from Kukurea, the winning assist. The other assist came from Yamal, if I'm not mistaken, which was the assist which won the game. Let me remove the key passes. Let me show you the other assist. From Yamal, a 16-year-old, passing to Nico Williams, who scored a goal. Something has to be looked at in terms of how this team of England is. The way they were very useless, the way they could not control the game. And you have to say that Pickford saved them. And now I'm gonna show you something that is very, very fun. Look at where the passes, the assists came from. Look at the all the assists. The first goal was assisted in the which direction, and who scored, and where was it coming from? And if you remember so well, the position of how England were playing, who was playing in this position? Let me show you somebody who was supposed to be covering that. And this is very important. I need to show you what this guy was supposed to be doing in terms of what he was supposed to be doing exactly in terms of what exactly he was meant to be doing. Look at this. Number 2 is Kyle Walker, by the way. Number 2 is Kyle Walker. Look at this. And England is the one in blue. Look at like Kyle Walker. This was when he lost the ball. Look, it's very funny. Let me just put all the defenders of England. And how many times are we seeing John Stones covering the position which Kyle Walker was expected to? Remember, England were playing in a back three if you were watching. How many times did we see this guy? Look at where Gay was playing. Gay was meant to be playing on the left side of the defense of England. And the fact that this team of England were so exposed on the right side, which Kyle Walker was trying to cover, Gay had to play so many times in the position which were not meant to be his. Stones had to cover Molly on the right, which meant that it was exposing the box where you would expect to see somebody like John Stones to be. Exposing, forcing Luke Shaw, who was supposed to be working here, holding on as a left wing back, had to come back and become a defense. So England, to be honest, in the Winter game, they were playing as let me try to think of the word. You might think I'm insulting. They were playing as a back four of a defense, but they could not stop Spain. They were playing as a defensive and they could not stop Spain. And somehow this guy is the guy who were told so many times that, well, he is the best of all. He is the guy that we have to look at for something. We are told that he is the guy that can do it all. This guy we call Johnston, we call Kyle Walker. They tell us that this guy is the best we have seen in football history in terms of being the best England right back. And this is the reason why a player like Trent Alexander-Arnold is not allowed to play, because they look at a guy like Kyle Walker, who they believe is actually way much better than what these guys were doing. And that's why we saw something like this. This how England was playing. From Pickford, he hits it so long, it goes either to Bellingham or it was going to Saka. If it was not going there, it was going outside. Sometimes when it gives to Kyle Walker, it comes back to John Stones. And there's a thing that I need to highlight to people that who might think that maybe I'm just trying to look at the things that are not fair. Let's go back to the chalkboard. I need you to see something here. There's a player who I'm going to highlight, which is very, very important, because we are looking at these guys and we need to face facts and look at what they've been doing. I'm going to highlight somebody in terms of the distribution. There's a guy called Declan Rice, and it's very important that we look at him, because this guy is being rated as one of the best in the world. And it's very important with what I'm going to be doing. Look at the successful passes that Declan Rice managed to make in the position he was making. Can you tell me which okay, let me do this. I think this is going to be harsh, but I think it's very important. Let me highlight him alongside with Rodri. And in fact, I think the best way to make it look better is to take out Declan Rice. Look at the Rodri's successful passes going forward. Look at him, the way he's passing going forward. How many of them are facing on the direction of attack? How many things when he's passing, he is giving of course to Yamal, and whenever he's coming from this direction, he's trying to score from inside. This Rodri's pass made, by the way, of successful passes. And let's look at some of the unsuccessful passes which he tried. All of them, the pass going forward, and this was blocked maybe by somebody from England, and sometimes at the position of going to attack, it was blocked. This is a DM, somebody who's playing as the defensive position of Spain, and most of his passes are going forward. Let's scratch that. Let's put Declan Rice, the guy who's playing the same DM, who, by the way, has been praised by so many people as one of the best. Look at the successful passes and the unsuccessful passes that he has made. Look at this. Let's look at the unsuccessful passes first. How many of these, and I'm not trying to pick on this many people, how many of these are going forward? How many of these passes are literally going forward? And this is a guy who's expected to produce something that can actually affect the game, which can actually give something. How many of the passes which has been made by this man, which are going in the direction that gives at least a chance to actually create something meaningful? These passes, I can guess maybe you're trying to look for Bellingham, but look where it's going. I cannot even see at least a pass that is going first on the direction of goal, because they're scoring here. If you see my mouse there, they're scoring this side. His passes are sideways, back to Stones. Look at how many passes he made to at the backside. He has more passes going backward than the ones that are going forward. And this is a team that is expected to win something. And you think that maybe we're being too harsh. Maybe we are looking at this too much. Let's look at these unsuccessful passes. Here, maybe he was trying to create something. Here, the long ball, and sometimes I wish I had a video to show you how these boys that you are seeing here that are all going forward, the way they were hit. Some of them were clearance because they were under attack, so it meant England had to clear the ball and it had to go somewhere. And this happened the whole entire game. Here, you can see from the position he was clearing from here. It was because he was in defensive position. Here, it was after winning the ball, he was hoping somebody get it. Here, it was in the defensive position. Here, it was a clearance because he was under attack. No, or many of those passes where maybe you say, oh, that was clear. That maybe spotted the Saka's movement, he's passing it well. This is a shambolic of a team. And maybe this because this is not the Declan Rice we've seen for us now. Maybe this is what is being told to play by the manager who's Gareth Southgate. Maybe this is what he's telling him. This is what he's telling him to play. Let's look at the other guy, and this is very important. Let's look at the captain of the team. Let's look at the guy who is expected to be the winner of the game. He's a number 9, by the way, and you have to keep that in your mind. He is a number 9. What do you know of a number 9 to do? Stay in the box. Can you show me any position, any pass that Kane made which showed he was in the position of Spain's box? In the Spain box, can you show me even one? We are looking at his pass man. Look at that. He's playing the Saka role, or maybe, should I say, maybe Kobe Minor role. Look at that. He's playing the Phil Foden or maybe Bellingham role. Here is a position where Bellingham's supposed to be. Here, maybe he's trying to be Luke Shaw. Here, maybe he's playing, maybe trying to be John Stowe. Here, oh, Kyle Walker needs some help. Let me go try to help him. These are the reasons why this England team actually achieved nothing. And you might think that I'm being too harsh on Spain, on England. Look at now, I highlighted the successful passes, the unsuccessful passes from open play, key passes, assists, anything that Kane could have done the whole entire game. Look at this. And this is a team that is expected to win magically the final. In what world, people? In what world? In what world, when you have a captain who cannot even do something meaningful and actually produce something that you can hold on and maybe even smile about? Okay, the only player that I can say in this game I was impressed with when it comes to England, I have to say, the guy that everyone has been making fun of, Jude Bellingham. He was playing at the left side. Look at how many passes he was making going forward. Look at how many times he was dropping to become a defensive player. Look at how many times he was coming back to help out with the ball, move with the ball, trying to be the link-up man, trying to set it up, trying to produce something. He was doing everything he could do. This was the key pass where he was setting Cole Palmer because he was in the 18 area. In the 18 area where you expect Kane to be in. He was the guy who was in there, set it up, and guess what? Cole Palmer was able to finish. That was the only shot that made sense for England the entire game. This is very bad, people. This is very bad. And let's look at Phil Foden. And let's talk about Jude Bellingham. Phil Foden was trying, people. Look at how many unsuccessful passes. And this is the painful part about this England team. This one eats me up a bit. How many chances are you seeing Phil Foden trying to cross within? Of course, this was a corner. And look at this. He is crossing inside. But the time he's crossing this, it's a 63 minutes. Who is in the pitch by then? Harry Kane. So who will get to that ball? Look where you call cross the at 60 minutes. Who was in the game by then? Harry Kane. Who exactly is going to help this man produce anything? It doesn't make sense. Let's put on Saka. Look at what Saka was doing the entire game. Look at what Saka was doing. Trying to run with the ball. Of course, when he was bringing the ball backwards, because there was nobody up front who can help him. Nobody. And when he gets the chances, he's crossing within and it's been blocked because there's nobody. This was at 75%. That's when we had Ole Watkins in the game. That's when we had the likes of Oli Wapking, and there were successful passes. Oh, look at when he started actually crossing in the 18, was when Harry Kane was out of the game. The whole entire, to even make it look very weird. Let's look in the first half, how many times they tried to cross from within. Here he was crossing to Kyle Walker. If you're not watching the game, he crossed to Kyle Walker. He passed it to Kyle Walker, who could not, who tried to return it in here, but there was nobody in. When I actually put on Kyle Walker to highlight Walker, look, this was a pass from Saka going to Walker, who crossed it. You see, at 15 minutes, he crossed it to Kyle Walker, put it back in, but there was no Harry Kane. Look at where our Harry Kane was here. Who can get to that when your number 9 is here? Let's try to look where Bellingham was. He was trying to be in there. Let's try to look where Phil Foden was. He was trying to be in there. This is the whole entire thing of England, and that's what you think maybe this guy is going to achieve something, but they can't when they are not doing what they can. You don't have the runners inside, and you think you can produce something that will win. You don't have creators, and the funny part is this: it's an entire tournament that is over, and the most guy who have created more chances for England is actually Trent Alexander-Arnold, a guy who has played how many minutes? The entire tournament. And it's funny that I've made the whole entire 22 minutes about England, but Spain won the game their side. Let's go back to let's go to Spain. Let me just highlight to you what a teenager is doing. Let's look at the guy who just turned 17. Let's look at the guy who just turned 17. Compare him with the guy who has been playing them. Look at this. This 19 represent Yamal. Yamal. This Yamal people. This Yamal Lamal. This Lamal Yamal. Look how much impactful he has been compared to the guy who's playing his same position at number 7 in Saka. I'm not picking up at Saka because Saka was not getting the distribution, but look at the work rate of this young kid. Look at the work rate of this young kid. He's there helping in defense. He's also there helping in terms of building, attacking, trying to produce something, successful passes, going forward. He's doing something amazing. Let's try to highlight Nico Williams. The whole entire page of mine has been covered by one kid. I have to take out Yamal because I can't compare Yamal and Nico at the same time. And who was playing the same position which this guy was playing is Jude Bellingham. You can't even compare these two together. This was Nico Williams. He literally ran the game. He literally ran the game. So you see the difference between Spain and England. The other team are there to play football. The other team are just there to watch the other team playing football. This is the problem. And as much as it felt like I was coming after the English players, no, I wasn't. I was literally trying to show you the reason why England lost is because the work rate is not there, and it's because of the system. The system that Gareth Southgate has set up for this team doesn't help these players that are around him to actually be successful, to produce maybe something that you can say, okay, this is what works for England. It cannot work because they are not producing what is actually helping the whole entire team. And maybe I'm being too harsh. Let me know in the comment section. We watched this game together, people. You can tell me something different. I'm all here. I want to hear from you guys. Why were England this terrible? Why were they terrible? Why did they allow this time of Spain to actually play football? And the stats don't lie. People might try to hide it. The stats don't lie. And I'm gonna make this. This now is just for fun. This is just now for fun. Alvaro Morata did not score anything for Spain. So did the Harry Kane did not do anything for Spain. Who was more impactful for the other team? And Alvaro Morata, the way he was set up, he had to play as a false 9. The reason why he was playing as a false 9 is because they knew that they had enough to go forward. So they had to make this guy become the guy who was behind, to be so important in terms of how he was distributing the ball to actually help the team going forward. And he was trying by all means to be very, very impactful. This was it, people. Spain were so good in everything that they did. They played so well. They were all over. And they won the game because they deserved to. They won the game because they deserved to. They deserved to. How many shots goals for these teams? How many shots were goals? And it's shown this part that we got to goals. How many goals were actually goals from these teams? Blocks, shots on target, and shots off target. This was the whole entire game. So the entire two goalkeepers had nothing to do. Yet the other team won. The other team didn't. That's the whole entire story of today's game. You just have to show what you're capable of doing as a team and you win the game. And that was today's game. I'm so embarrassed watching England do what they did. They might be angry, they might be shouting, hitting things. I saw Jude Bellingham trying to destroy maybe the water bottle, trying to take out the frustration. I get it. But in terms of performing in the game, to be honest, if I'm looking at England, I'm looking at Jude Bellingham because he's the guy who at least looked like he wanted to produce something today of all, but in the other games it was not good. When you look at how this game went on, like you'll be frustrated just watching the game because if you're an English fan, but if you're a Spanish fan, it was frustrating, but it was a good game in the end because your stars, the players you expect to actually perform, they came out and they produced something meaningful. This was exactly what they needed to do. They needed to be so good in terms of how they were approaching the game and get the game actually to the end and win the game. And that's what Spain did, something that England could not do. So looking at this game, when we are really going to analyze maybe years to come, who played so well, who had the game plan, who was actually very effective in the mode to helping the team. We might look at Yamal and say that he was one of the young kid of the player of the tournament as a young kid. We might look at Nico Williams and say that he also deserved to be maybe second in running. Look at Danny Olmo and said that he was very good in terms of how they were doing. But today, when you look at today's game, the likes of Gay stopped this team. The likes of Stones played so well, but the players who were supposed to be very influential in terms of how the game went disappeared. And this is what led into this performance. This is what led into what came out today. So I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are. What did you think of today? And let me tell you one crazy stat. Harry Kane had once, in fact, why should I waste my time telling you? Let me just show you, because Twitter is there for that. So let's make it look so exciting. Let's laugh about it a bit. And it's actually painful that we're actually talking about this. Look at what Harry Kane did the whole entire game. And these are English fans who are actually highlighting this. It's not even me. Harry Kane, this is from the Athletic. Harry Kane had just one shot, one touch in the opposition's box across the Euro 2020 and 2024 finals. His wait for a trophy continue. So then we decided to take two tournaments, two finals that England has been, and the Harry Kane, the top goal scorer who's recognized in England, they are saying he had one short touch, not even short, one shot in the box of the opponent in two finals as a row, and they still cannot do anything. And guess what? The touch was not even in this tournament. It was in 2020 against Italy. What is wrong with England? Or maybe should I say, what is wrong with this team? I do feel like it is Southgate. I really look at this team and I say it's Southgate because, to be honest, when you look at what we are seeing here, it's not enough. It's not enough. As much as they come out and they try to attack some of the players, like the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I've seen publicly being attacked, when they try to do so, the players that they're saying that they're best at the positions, they are not good enough. They are not good enough. Look at Kyle Walker. If it was not of his pace, I don't think he gets into this England team. He offers nothing going forward. Defensively, he's still as vulnerable as Trent Alexander-Arnold. His speed is the only thing that saves him. And on one-on-ones, most of the times, he's so exposed. But we don't talk about this. Because when you try to destroy somebody, when you create a narrative, when you attack a player, it's so difficult that you can actually protect another player on the other side. It never comes out. It will never hit home as what you expect. When you do that, you have literally made a joke out of so much that happens. It's misery what we're watching. It's disturbing what you're watching. And I think today's game just summarizes how this tournament was, how hell of a joke it was for England. But overall, let's talk about the Euros tournament as a whole. I think 2024 Euro tournament did not really deliver in terms of what we wanted to see. Maybe, of course, it goes with the way the groups were set up, the way the group stages came out, and the teams which were on which direction and which direction. If the game of Spain versus Germany was the final, I would have happily enjoyed it. If it was the final, that game would have been amazing because I felt like when you look at it, really, when you really dig it deep, the two teams of the tournament has to be Spain and Germany. Not Spain and England. No, not Spain versus France. No, that was not even a game to watch. It was embarrassing. Not Spain versus Italy, the last times winners. No, that was boring. Today's performance was actually one I would say, it happened. We wanted to move on very, very fast because what we have seen today, to be honest, when it comes to tournament football, when it comes to this, you don't have to be the best teams. You don't even have to have the best players. You just have to approach your game different from the others. And I'm telling you, you win the tournament. You win the tournament. I'm I'm talking to you right now, and I think we're about to have an hour from another tournament of Copa America, which I'll be watching, and maybe I'll talk about it as the game comes to an end. But you can see maybe the Copa America tournament was better than Euro. Most of the teams did not perform. I had the likes of Hungary as one of the teams to watch over. They did not perform. Switzerland was one of the teams that actually gave a problem to Germany, but they could not go far. They were stopped by England. And when you think about the team that actually stopped, how does it even make sense that they made it to the final? When we are being honest, England did not deserve to reach the finals, but yet they did. And when they did they deliver in terms of giving us a good final? Nope, they didn't. They didn't. It was a walk over for Spain, who they tried by means to defend, but like I said, Kyle Walker, always out of position, was one of the reasons which costed this team. Nico Williams is fast. Kyle Walker is fast, but if you are out of position and you are running with a fast player, he will expose you. And that's what exactly Nico Williams did. So I'm hoping, I'm really hoping we get to see a better tournament than what we saw today. I'm really hoping that we get to see something different from what we saw today. Because today what we saw, you can say whatever you want. We saw another team that was not really good. Let me show you what one person just said, and this is really funny about Declan Rice. You might think that maybe I was speaking on him when I was analyzing this game. This is Van der Vet with harsh words for Declan Rice. 100 million euro, or I think it was pounds, which was paid for Declan Rice. What does he do? He comes to collect the ball only to pass it back to Jon Snows. He's useless. If you are truly worthy of 100 million pounds, not euros, by the way, pounds, then you should be able to play the ball forward. That's what determined. That's what the reason why I was highlighting Declan Rice, because with the money that it was played for, how much he's, with how much the people in England, or how much the PR that is behind him supports him, and it really takes his name always forward. You would expect that at least he would try to do something. He was sold for crazy amount of money, but yet did he deliver to what the amount he was paid for? No. So to be honest, you have to be disappointed because now when so many people were talking, we thought Southgate was crazy when he talked about how this tournament missed. I can't believe I'm saying this on live to camera. He said how this tournament missed a Calvin Phillips. What he was talking about was this: he needed somebody who can play in and help Declan Rice the way Kobe Mano was playing. But Kobe Mano is a forward attacking player who thinks going forward, who wants his teams to help him, and he's a young kid. It's difficult to show that when you have players who are incompetent when it comes to performing. Yet that's what we had to watch as football. What it takes to be a football fan. I'm out of words. I don't know if I've left anything here. So I'm gonna give you the tournament awards. So of course Spain have won the tournament. The player of the tournament, it was given to Rodri, which makes sense because I think he played so well. So the player of the tournament was given to Rodri, and after giving him to Rodri, the other thing I think, let me just show you. I need you to see something here. Oh, sorry for this. I'm almost done. Okay, so the player of the tournament was given to Rodri. Let's see it from here. The players of the tournament. So this is the young player. Yamal was given as the youngest player of the tournament. He scored at Euro for the first time. Of course, he scored these things. I think I did this La Liga and he had assist. He played so well. He scored his first goal. And I think he has had one of the best starts in terms of football. Official Rodri being the player of the tournament. And when you look at how it was played this season, he has been one of the best players. And I think he deserves maybe to actually win the Ballon d'Or. I'm calling it right now. Rodri for the Ballon d'Or because I think he has been so good. So official, 17-year-old Lama wins the player of the tournament. And the gold, the boost was given to, I think it's Dani Olmo. Yeah, I think it was Dani Olmo, Harry Kane, Cody Gakpo. Who's the other one? I think there's 6 players, to be honest, who have been given the golden the golden top goal scorer of the tournament. I don't know who's gonna be the keeper of the tournament. Maybe you give it to the Portugal goalkeeper, or maybe you give it to the Spain goalkeeper because he has reached this position, but I don't think he deserves it as well. As well as Pickford, it has not been confirmed that maybe to make sense very, very soon. We will know some of the things when this tournament is over. There's still celebratory mood for these teams, and they deserve it. They fought to the very end and they got to the end of the tournament and they won it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of this tournament? And if you are going to be watching this tomorrow, because I'm going to post it very, very soon on the YouTube channel, let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Why was I being too harsh when I was analyzing the English players in terms of their performance? Because I feel like as much as you shout that Gareth Southgate being the most successful English coach, sometimes being a successful English coach because you have good players doesn't mean that you're the best coach out there. Go find a better coach. That's what England needs. A better manager who can actually deliver. And in terms of the manager of Spain, I'm really impressed with this man. He was young. He was the under 17 manager 2 or 3 years back, went to become under 21s, and now he is Spain's manager. And he comes in after Spain have been having their worst terrible time. He chooses players, getting some of the youngsters, comes in and become the manager who wins it at the end. So there is an inspirational story to be taken out of that. There is an inspirational story to be taken out of that. And he deserves to be given his flowers. He performed when he needed to. He gave everything he had to. And it was amazing to watch. I watched this tournament, and I am telling you, watching the whole entire thing, the only time I enjoyed watching football was Spain when they were in the field. It was when Spain was in the field, and we're here. It's still funny that I'm still here trying to make sense of what we saw today. So I'm hoping that Gareth Southgate does not sign the new contract that the FA has given him, because I don't think he deserves it. So many people might say that he might deserve it, but no. When we're being honest, he doesn't. They need to choose another player, another person. they need to be seriously. I think if you give it to a Graham Potter, he will do much, much better from this because there is an attacking sense when it comes to Graham Potter than what we are seeing from Gareth Southgate. He is a better manager. We saw that at Brighton, not Gareth Southgate. And that's all I'm asking from you, from FA. You have to rethink this decision. It doesn't make sense. Football-wise, it doesn't sound like you actually thinking so hard over exactly where you want to go as a tournament, and you are really listening to these young people who are shouting. But this is the truth of the matter. There are so many people who are going to talk about what's going to happen next. Let's hear what I said. Let's hear what Gareth Southgate had to say after the game, because I think I need to laugh a bit before I leave here. And this was what the English manager was saying about his future. Gareth Southgate on his future. I don't think it's a good moment to decide these things. I need to have some conversation with important people behind the scene. I'm not going to discuss this publicly first. It'll be announced then. Just quit, man. Just quit. For the sake of your health and maybe try to do something, just quit. Listen to what Jimmy Carragher had to say about this. 7 played 4-2-2. Fabian was strict. Gareth Southgate is too defensive. Funny how it has always been always it's always on the manager, isn't it? The fact is our big players didn't turn up in this tournament and other tournaments going back years. I understand Harry Kane did not turn up, Jimmy Carragher. I do. I'm not refusing that. He did not turn up. And this is again a second tournament in a row where he did not turn up. But if you watch Harry Kane, if you have ever watched every single place where Harry Kane has been successful as a player, is when he's playing with his speedy wingers around him. Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura at some point at Spurs, Gareth Bale, players who are speedy wingers. Look at Bayern Munich, Jamal Musiala, Leroy Sané, speedy wingers, and he drops back, sends the ball to them, and he moves out. Who was this fastest winger in the England team? Who was it? Who was it? Let me know in the comment section. Who was it? Saka alone, where 3 players were marking him before the ball even come to him. On the other side, was there a winger? No, it was a midfielder. What is Gareth Southgate trying to achieve, really, to be honest? So, as much as you might come out with Kane and say, do not perform, let's say that he was playing at the position of a false nine, like what we've seen from Roberto Firmino. How was he going to be successful when he didn't have players who were taking away and creating space with their speed around side? That's why not putting Jack Grealish in this tournament did not make sense. Not putting Marcus Rashford in this tournament did not make sense because they are speedy. They can run over with the defenders, creating space for Harry Kane to be influential in the box. That was not happening, which forced Kane to come back down in the middle to try and do something. That's why this tournament was terrible. The reason why Jude Bellingham was not able to perform is because most of the time he was trying to find his position alongside with Phil Foden. The reason why Phil Foden did not perform is because most of the time he was being played out of position. When he was put on the position, he was playing with another player who plays at the same position, which meant they were fighting for a position. So as much as Jamie Carragher is trying to look at this and put it onto the players, I'm just saying, look at on the other side. Who is also in those positions? It is painful to look at. It's really painful when you hear the analysis going to this extreme, but that's the honest truth. The positions where the players are going, it's not helping this England team. That's why they lost the tournament. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you think of today's performance? Spain deserved it from day one, and they've won it. 7 wins in a row. I think that's history that has been made in the Euros. And back-to-back defeats for England. That's history also being made in the Euro. Can't wait to hear what's going to be happening tomorrow. So click the like button, subscribe to the Connect if you haven't done it, and follow as well if you're watching on the Connect Facebook. follow for more. And let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be reading them and maybe I might even react to them. And by the way, as we move on to the new season of the Premier League, these live streams are going to be more. I would want you guys to join in. So what I'm saying to you is that people, find a good mic, be ready, or not even a good mic, just find a good camera. I want you guys to come and let me hear your thoughts, what you guys think of the tournaments, what are you expecting over the new season, because of course after the Copa America tonight or earlier in the next hour, we'll be done with Football Europe and we'll be waiting for the new Premier League. 4 weeks to go before the new Premier League season begins, 2025-2026 season. I'm excited. What are you excited over? Let's move on from what we just watched. That's the only thing, that's the only advice that I'll give you. Move on, because I think you'll be frustrated.
Beats the goalkeeper. You're just lost for words. He is just brilliant. Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, Johan